Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rich from the Rich and Turbo Heavy Half Hour, and welcome to our latest episode. Find me on X at FuzzDoomRip and all the other socials at Rich.Paiva, doing reviews from Wikipedia of Metal and as a Doom Charts contributor. Turbo, how are you?
I'm fine.
That's great. That's great. We are very excited to have Texas band Stone Machine Electric with us. We have Mark and Dub from the band. And these guys are putting out a new record that comes out on the 26th. So a couple days from when we're recording this, and it's called Faces. It's on Argonauta Records, if I'm not mistaken. And what I will say is that it's killer. We've had some time to spend with it. So we're excited to talk to you guys. Welcome, Mark and Dub, to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So for people who might not know who you guys are, can you guys introduce yourself and what you do in the band, if you don't mind?
I'm the goofball Dub, and I'm guitar and vocals.
I'm Mark. I do drums and vocals and random noises and things like that.
And you guys definitely have random noises, which is a very cool aspect of your band. I was reading just some of the reviews of on Bandcamp of you guys, and JJ from the Obelisk says the reason why I love, I'm paraphrasing here, the reason why I love this band even after all these years is that you just never know what you're to expect from them, album to album. So
you never know what we're gonna do.
Well, that was gonna be a question because we listened to the new record Faces. Like I said, it's excellent. You guys have a vibe. There's a vibe that you guys have, but I think musically I hear a lot of different stuff than what I've heard on some of the previous stuff. How would you compare this record to some of the other material that you have out there?
Mark, you go.
I mean, for me, if we go back to like our first album and this current album, it's probably a little bit more song based compared to everything that's in between. So it's kind of almost a full circle of structured songs to going to less structured to just free form, and then kind of came back to that to the whole written song.
Yeah, like you said, this one's more song based, and there's probably a couple reasons why. One being the whole COVID shut us down for a while. Couldn't even get together to rehearse, plus including Eric. So we gelled together so well, but we haven't quite reached the improvisation part because Mark and I, even before we started the band, had known each other for 20 years and had played together. So not for the whole 20 years, but we had previously played together.
You guys go in a lot of different directions for sure. I was listening to one of your live records, and I don't know who said it, if it's Mark or Dub, but he said, was that you who says we don't talk? This is Stone Machine Electric and we don't talk. And you just go into...
Yeah, I think I said that because...
Yeah, I love that.
I don't talk, but I talk more than he does.
Well, I was going to say, I hope for the sake of the show that you don't live up to that. But I just love how that live record starts.
Lips are sealed from now on. It's all on Mark.
So I've seen a lot of descriptions of you guys. I've seen I think doom jazz. I've seen some other things that are out there. It's so funny because every record that I listen to, I hear a little bit of something else. Like I was listening to one of your records the other day, and I'm like, these guys are like the Doom Allman Brothers. That's like the vibe that I got out of what I was listening to.
But the funny thing about that is, when we started, that was kind of my intent.
Oh, really? Okay.
Kind of a jam band doom thing.
Jammy doom band. Interesting. We were just talking to a band called Black Tongue Reverend, and you don't usually hear someone who plays like the stoner doom kind of sludgy stuff and call out something like the Grateful Dead as one of their influences. So I don't think we have enough doomy jam bands, to be honest with you.
Well, Allman Brothers is one of my biggest influences from my younger days. So that's where that comes from.
I feel accomplished by pulling that out of one of the songs that I heard earlier. So The record starts off with, I think I'm not sure if it was the first single, but it is a single, Just Another Wizard, which is very, very cool. And again, I think you guys thrive when you have your song structure and then like, I don't know, 4 minutes in, you guys just go off. Like there's just like this kind of psyche jam thing that you guys do. Where did that song come from, if you don't mind me asking?
Just Another Wizard. I mean, that's the one I came up with. I'm big into messing around with synthesizers and things like that. So the whole opening for that song was just based around that and structured the riffs and everything around just having that synthesizer sound and that kind of doomy sound that it creates.
Love it. And
I want to like interrupt for a second here. As you see, it's just Mark and I. Eric just recently got married this past weekend, so he's honeymooning and all that. So
I feel like this is way more important than that, but we'll give him a pass, I guess.
But cheers to him. He's a brother, and even though he's been a short time, he's still a brother and family and all that. So we love him.
Excellent. Yeah. And he recorded on this record, right? He did he played on this record. He rips it up. So I also hear, like you mentioned, songs and song structure. Chroma is a song where I don't think I had a choice but to hear some Zeppelin influence in that song. Am I crazy, or is there a little bit of that going on?
That was a bit of an inspiration for it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's an excellent single.
That was too. One that I had the riff, and then Mark came up with the lyrics and melody.
Is that how you guys generally work, or is it more of, kind of a mishmash? You guys bring whatever you have to the table and then you kind of work it out from there?
You want to answer that one, Mark?
Yeah, it's a mixture of things. A lot of times I'll have a song or he'll have a song, we'll bring it together, and I'd say most of the time they're probably somewhat structured mostly out, but then we'll add things here or there. Just, we've got to tweak it. It's not just going to be, it's never final until we've played it at least 100 times. Or
in fact, some of the new stuff is still like different live than it was on the album. So
very cool. I can't wait to hear some of this live. Turbo, almost 8 minutes without me allowing you to ask a question. So it's your turn. What do you got for the guys?
Turbo? In the darkness. So.
Yeah, he's in the void in Tennessee. What's going on?
I've said that you've worked with Kent Stump from Wolfat in the past. Did he work with him any on this album at all?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, that's good to know.
Funny story about Kent is we had just gotten together and went to go see Wolfat live, and I didn't know who they were at the time. Mark had turned me on to them, and the show blew me away so much. I walked up and started talking to him afterward and said, "Hey, we're just starting." He said, "Oh, we've got this gig coming. Why don't you come play with us?"
Well, that's awesome. Listening to some of the long form songs, and obviously I think there's a little bit of a Wolfat thing going on. You could probably put you guys in a similar vein, and that show would make a lot of sense. I would think. But Mark, you meant is Wolfat one of an influence of your work, or just a band that you just have dig for a while?
Just I guess they're local to us, so we've seen them plenty, and it's always fun to jam with them. We played them a few times.
They're like friends, basically.
Just another Texas power trio. So that's love it. So you guys, to me, first of all, congratulations on signing with Argonauta, and this is your first vinyl, right? Is this the first time you've done vinyl besides the 7? I think you had a 7-inch, but nothing full, right? All right, correct. Cool. How has that experience been, other than the fact that you can't mail shit from Europe to the U.S. right now? Otherwise, how has that been?
I mean,
aren't we so great right now?
Yeah, even with them being on the other side of the world, communication's been great. It's all been through email, and I actually did get an update. It sounds like we might be getting all of our vinyl in the middle of next month, supposedly. It sounds like there's a little bit of delay in production, but I think that was expected as far as that goes. I've heard, that always sounds like it's an issue. Nothing's ever on time.
Yeah, with that, but the whole shipping thing right now is.
Yeah, he made it sound like they're going to be able to ship it to us.
Yeah,
it's like I guess they figured something out.
Yeah, Jiro actually, he sends me stuff as a record psycho, and he's like, I figured out a way to send you stuff. It's going to be FedEx. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'd love to add more Argonauta stuff to my collection. So great label, great dude, and I think you guys will fit great with that, with those bands that are on there. So you mentioned that these songs sound different live when you play them. Is it sounds different every time live because you have that kind of dub jam band kind of mentality, or are you just kind of working it out how the songs come out as you kind of go?
Well, like something like Manic, that's just a jam band thing in the middle section. Other than that, there were on the album. There's actually overdubs and stuff where I'm playing 6-string, 12-string, this, that, and the other, and I can only play one at a time live. Obviously.
Oh, come on, Dub. Figure. I mean,
I can
ways,
try.
Right?
I can try.
Yeah, I guess actually, talking about Manic, Eric, it's like if you hear that live now, his bass line is totally different from what's actually on the recording because it's like, I think what's on the recording sounds awesome, but he's like, oh, it's not good enough, so he's changed it since we recorded it.
Yeah. True.
I mean, that's cool. And I feel like you guys thrive in a live environment. Just listening to the live record and some of the other live stuff I've heard from you guys. Do we anticipate some more live releases based on a new tour, this new record, new songs that you're putting in your sets, or is that something that's on the radar, or just focusing on what's coming out on Friday at this point?
Well, I would hope so, but I just show up and play. You'd have to talk to that guy.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're focusing on what's coming out now and getting a bunch of shows lined up for later in the fall and beginning of next year. So cool. That's never out of the. I guess it's always an option to do that because I always try to record all of our shows with a little, Zoom camera or something just to capture that and have it for whatever.
And actually, the whole Doom Jazz moniker came from live shows, not the albums.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I guess you guys, I have not seen you live. I've only seen clips of you guys live. So what is that experience like that someone would call out and say, this is like Doom Jazz? Like what happens at a Stone Machine Electric show that somebody would say that?
Well, during the time, we would have some songs we would play during the set, but we never stopped. We would, in between songs, we would just completely improvise and weave over to the next song.
Oh, that's cool.
Just completely improvised.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Eliminated the need for stage banner, so.
Yes, I was going to say, we don't talk.
Exactly.
I think that that's awesome. I think sometimes there's a time for a little bit of banter. Some bands obviously go, they get 30 minutes and 6 of it is spent talking, which doesn't seem like a real great percentage of music to talk.
Well,
but
we've heard lots of people tell us, well, I didn't know what song was what because it was just all one song.
Well, your the live record I was listening to is kind of like that, right? It when I'm
yes.
How do you pronounce it? Vivere? That one.
I think that's
right?
how it's pronounced. It's Latin for something. I forget what it's for.
Yeah, that's why I can't pronounce it right. But it's kind of like that, right? Because the songs that are in the quotes there are those some of the improvisations that you're doing, and then you kind of transition into the other songs, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. Dreaming is the song where I got the Allman Brothers vibe from, by the way. That's the one where I'm like, I'm hearing something there. That's what
I haven't listened to that one in a while. I forgot how it goes. Can you sing it?
You don't want that. That is You definitely don't want that. I barely like to hear my own voice talking. I definitely don't like
But
hearing my own talking.
yeah,
So.
speaking of improvisation, the what's it called? I can't remember the name of the inexplicable blah blah blah. That whole album is completely improvised.
Oh wow. Okay. So the last that was the last record, right? That came out in 2020, right? Yeah. Wow. And that was pre the world. Well, no. If I look at it, it was came out while the world was crumbling, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, how did you guys do that?
Well, aren't we still crumbling?
Well, I mean, technically, yes. I guess from that particular thing that we were crumbling from. Very good point, Doug. So looks like you recorded that pre all of that stuff happening. So did you guys just get together and be like, we're going to jam for this amount of time and that's going to be the record, or did it happen?
No, one of the, was it Journey on the Nile? That was actually recorded at Nile City Sound in Fort Worth, and that was the local alternative paper, Fort Worth Weekly. They used to do a thing where they'd take a full day at some studio and have a bunch of local bands come in and record something for their like sampler. And so most other bands just come in and would record, they got 20 minutes to record a song, and we just went in there for 20 minutes and just jammed the whole time, and they laid that down. And the other song was similar. It was like we were warming up on the previous album, Darkness, Dimensions, and Disillusion, and we're in the studio with Kent on that one, and that was just, and he recorded us jamming there, and that's an outtake from that.
Very cool. I imagine if a local paper is putting out like a CD and you give them a 20-minute song, they're like, what am I going to do with the other bands who have to put music on the CD?
Well, it's kind of funny because they were so stoked on what we did, they were still playing it while the next band was trying to come in and set up.
That's how you know. That's how you know it's you've got the right thing going. Very cool. Turbo, what else you got for the guys?
I notice, not being really a tech guy, Mark, in the liner notes, it says you play HCTT. I have no idea what that is.
There's a company called Landscape FM. They make a bunch of weird instruments that are kind of synthesizer based and all that. But the HCTT, stands for Human Controlled Tape Transfer. So it's essentially like a DJ setup for a cassette. So you just put the cassette in the contraption, and it has two knobs. And you turn it. It doesn't have any automation to it. You have to manually turn it to actually get the cassette to play, so you can go backwards and forwards and all that. So like on Just Another Wizard, and I think in the Out, where you hear that wobbly kind of vocals in the background. What I did was I recorded vocals to a cassette, and then I played that, so it gets that weird warbly sound on the vocals.
So that's the equivalent of scratching a cassette. Is that? I mean, that's what.
Yeah.
Wow, I've never heard of such a thing. That's very cool. How did you find that thing?
The internet.
Good for something, right? The internet, good for something.
I'm always down. I'm always looking for weird instruments, so that just came across. I was like, I've got to have that. It plays cassettes.
Yeah, I sometimes wish he'd bring his old little board back with a theremin and all that on it, but.
It's funny you say that. We there's a band out of Tampa called Florist, and they have a theremin and synth player, and I love that. Like, I love the sounds, the spacey stuff, and the kind of psych stuff that goes and that accompanies the riffs and the doomy stuff. It's just I can't get enough of that.
Their latest album is good.
I tell people that they're I want more people to hear them because they're relatively local to where I am, and such great dudes. And I'm glad that they're getting some. They're going to be like, why do you mention us every single interview you do? I'm like,
well, they found some guy in Texas that's listened to them. So
yeah, exactly. So that's awesome. That's very cool. Everyone go listen to the Florist record. So you mentioned, Mark, doing shows in the fall. What do you guys got going on when it comes to live and tour, or what do you guys got going?
The end of the next month, we were doing just a local show to kind of an album release. So hopefully we'll get all of our CDs and vinyl by then, but we'll see. Later in, I guess, November and December, we're hitting Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana, and a couple other places around Texas. For us, it's like it's 3 hours or more just to get out of Texas. So
Yeah, big state.
Yeah.
Well, 3 hours or more just to get somewhere else in Texas too.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely understand that. As I used to live in South Florida, and I always complained that nobody ever came down there. And it's mostly because you have to get there. Like it's just you have to go 7 hours through the state to actually get to,
Yeah.
and then 7 hours back. So unless you're like starting there, it doesn't make any sense, which was always frustrating to the guy who wants to go see every small band who's in a van or whatever. It doesn't make sense for you guys to do that, which I get, but I'm still bitter. Anybody who you're playing with or you're looking forward to? Are you working with like local bands at the venues that you're playing on?
it's local bands at those venues, but we are going to play with when we play Blue Note in Oklahoma. We're going to play with Rainbows Are Free. Those guys are cool.
Friends of the show.
Yeah.
Their new record is amazing. Love them. Love that band.
Yeah, and
I've got the date itinerary, but I have no idea who we're playing with. So
Dub just shows up, right?
Yeah.
Just shows up and plays.
Then I forget who we're playing with in Fort Smith. I think it's Redwood's Johnny. I probably got it wrong. It's probably a different band.
I do like Redwood's Johnny. I
feel like I
didn't know if they were
like I need
still
to
around.
look.
Yeah, but
as long as Slayer's not in town, we're good.
Right.
How many times has something like that happened to us?
Every time.
There's a band out of Carolina called Holy Roller, and I'm buddies with the drummer Jay, and he was saying they had some shows in Atlanta with Crystal Spiders. I'm like, how'd it go? He's like, well, Dream Theater was playing down the street, so not as good as it could have got, but
That's the story of our live shows right there.
Double booked with the biggest possible metal band possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much crossover there is there, right? Maybe there's a little bit, maybe there's not. I don't know, but I think your show would be way more intimate and fun and interactive. That's for sure.
Probably cheaper too.
Yeah, the beer would definitely be
I
cheaper.
smaller shows myself nowadays, so
Yeah, totally agree. It's a weird thing. Some of the big shows.
If they would come to my house and actually play, that'd be even better. So I wouldn't have to go out anywhere. But
yeah, standing for 4 bands in a club at this point in time is a lot to ask. But you do it for the music because you love it. As just somebody watching, going up there and playing is probably at the time probably you're not thinking about it, but afterwards you're probably like, it's a thing, and you guys love it, and we love that you guys do it. So what else? What do you, if somebody who hasn't heard? Oh, go ahead, Turbo.
Dub has ever, being a Southern rock fan, Allman Brothers fan, and I haven't listened to all of y'all's music, so I'm sorry. Do you
That's
ever
okay.
break out? Do you ever break
I
out?
haven't either.
Do you break out slide? Do you have a slide?
I have slide, but I haven't broken it out in so long. It would probably sound like a dying cat right now, which might be a good thing. I don't know.
That might be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have a lot of sounds on your record.
Yeah, you got it's on Hypocrite
Definitely
Christ,
the way
right?
slide playing that's top bar right there for me.
So, Dub, is that the? I know I made the Ullman's comment earlier, but is that kind of where you come from a inspiration standpoint, or stuff that you've listened to or that you've kind of come up on, or is it something different?
I haven't listened to it in quite a while, but it was a big influence in my early beginning days and years. It's this is, well, besides all the gray hair, it's going to show my age. I recorded like an album side of Eat a Peach, and I listened to that nonstop back in the day.
Great record, and it's amazing actually. Now a lot of the bands that you hear, a lot of Allmans and Skinner in their music, such a big influence in a lot of the stuff that we hear. And Mark, I have to ask you, because I feel like, given the fact that you play in HCTT or the synth guy probably come from a little bit of a different point of view musically, or maybe not. But where did you? How did you come up? What were you listening to? What are your big influences on your playing and writing?
Yeah, it's hard to say because I listen to almost everything I can. I always try to find something new to listen to, but I think, starting out when I was young, I mean, Van Halen 1984, that was like, when I was in 5th grade, that was the biggest thing ever. So it's what kind of got me started. Yeah.
You're making me feel even older now. Thanks.
From there, it just snowballed into, hey, there's Slayer, Rain and Blood. That's awesome. I like that. Then got turned on to stuff like
that album. That's a classic right there.
Yeah. It's like took a sharp turn from metal back to alternatives. I was listening to a lot of Fugazi and Descendants and, Black Flag and things like that. And around the time, especially a lot of Fugazi was more, I guess, actually around more than those were around that time, was early 90s.
Yeah.
Mark, this is something Mark always laughs about, but I come from the generation where what inspired me to begin playing to start with was Kiss. Of course, that was the 70s, though. So.
Yeah, I'm a fan. You could probably see behind me there. There's a bunch of Kiss posters.
I can't see shit anymore. I got these things.
I can't either. I have my old glasses, and I can't see anything either. But there's a Dynasty poster back there, and then when they got back together in '96, huge Kiss fan, and could probably talk to Mark about Fugazi for a couple of shows as a huge Fugazi fan. But it's funny, Turbo and I, one of our big clashes is around Van Halen, because he's a Van Halen guy. I don't get it, so I always have to tell him how 5150 is the best Van Halen record, and someday we're going to have a full panel, right? And I don't know who's going to join me. I know. This is
he's got to be on his own.
If you want to get hate on social media, just tell everybody that 5150 is the best Van Halen record. And
don't get me wrong, I love that album, but yeah, it's better than Diver Down.
Oh, okay. All right. Now we're talking at least something there. Turbo, point of view on that. 5150 or Diver Down?
I will still take Diver Down.
I know you would. First 6, right? First 6. I understand.
My problem with Diver Down is it's half covers, but
It's very true. And sometimes when I debate about Van Halen, I wonder that, why such a cover band got so big in the 80s, but that's a whole other story. I'm going to get hate now again. All the Van Halen people are going to be very upset with me, but I'm used to it at this point.
We could go on with this for hours, so we probably need to just move along.
No, I'm digging my own grave here. So Mark, I think it's really cool that you mentioned the Florist record. So you're kind of tapped into some of the newer stuff. Any other records that you, off the top of your head, would call out as some of the newer bands or newer records that that you have heard that have impressed you?
I think in the past year, I know the Sundrifter, their last album was really good.
Yep.
Can't think of who else I've listened to lately.
Yeah.
I've been listening to the new Castle Rat, but I think everybody's been listening to that, or a lot of people.
Yeah. It's a very controversial record. There's a lot, if you look online, there's a lot of controversy about the image, the record,
Yeah.
To me, it's just, and I think Turbo and I agree, it's just a little too long. Like, there's just too many songs on it. I don't know. But it's good. It's good. But I don't get, there are some people who think it's the album of the decade, and some people who are like, it's a good record. I think I'm in it's a good record.
I could tell you my probably my current album of the year, and it's not Doom or Stoner. It's Matt Berry's album that he put back out in January.
I love that record. I love that record. It is so weird and so 60s pop psych craziness. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's like that, like almost, I guess, British TV theme song-ish sounding to me.
Yeah, and I actually, the record came in the mail. My wife's like, what? I'm like, no. Isn't this the guy from What We Do in the Shadows? I'm like, yes, absolutely. Now you understand. He's a generational talent. That guy. I love that you love that record. It's so good. Turbo, you would hate it, but it's so good. I love it. I'm so happy that you called that out.
You're gonna have to turn me on to that, Mark. I haven't heard of that.
It's a good album.
Yeah,
Does his
it's not going to be
voice
for
sound the
everybody.
same?
What's that,
One of the
Turbo?
reasons they said that one of the reasons that Matt Berry gets on my nerves is his voice. I was going to say, is his voice still the same when he's singing as it when he's talking?
It's more singing, less, some of those weird voices he does. There's none of that in it.
Yeah, he's not Laszlo from What We Do in the Shadows when he sings, for sure. I mean, I think you still might know it's him, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Serious.
See,
I'd
I'm
say
the
it's serious.
oddball. I don't even know who that is. So yeah.
You'll see him and you'll be like, I think I know him. You
I'm
might.
a hermit that knows nothing.
Again, Dub just shows up and plays. That's all. That's all we could ask for, right, Dub? Guys, this has been awesome. I wanted to say to everybody, go and pre-order the new record from Stone Machine Electric. It's called Faces. It will make it to the United States soon. We promise. In some way, it'll make it here soon. It's on I believe it's a pretty cool looking pink vinyl, if I'm not mistaken, right? Am I remembering this correctly?
Pinkish purple, kind of.
Yeah, a little splatter action going on.
Yeah.
So
What's
the record's great.
What's the
Go ahead,
concept
Turbo.
behind the name of the record, Faces?
Yeah.
It's kind of the idea that I guess all the songs kind of cover different aspects of the band in a sense. So, there's different faces behind each song in a way.
Love it.
I may have just
You
made
each
that up.
get
I
your
don't
own
know.
symbol.
Just
I just
the word I picked out.
Yeah, the symbols on the mask thing, that's kind of, that's another Led Zeppelin influence there. So
Yeah, we all came up with our own symbol.
Who's who? Which symbol is which? Who's the square or the cube in the middle?
I'm the cube.
You're the cube?
Yeah.
I'm
Dub,
the inverted triangles with the infinity sign.
Okay. And then the other one looks like a flaming pineapple, but I'm not exactly sure what that is. Is it a
Circle with
flaming
flame in
pineapple?
it. It's not a pineapple. I think it's just a circle with a flame in it.
Okay. The pineapple would be a better story, but we'll go with that. Guys, thank you. For a band who doesn't talk, I appreciate all of the talking. Please tell Eric that I forgive him for going on his honeymoon instead of being on the show this time. But everybody, go listen.
Well, hopefully this is the only time.
Yeah.
No, we would love to have you back on. Only time for the wedding. Yes,
Yeah.
for the wedding. We only want one of those. But we'd love to have you guys back on the show. So Stone Machine Electric, new record called Faces, comes out this Friday, the 26th, on Argonauta Records. First time they're putting out a record on vinyl, so all you vinyl freaks, go pre-order it. It's killer. Just listen to the singles, and you guys will know how killer it is. And Mark and Dub, thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you,
us.
Richard Turbo. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.